Helicopters, and people jumping out of helicopters. People so in love they'd run to get on even when there wasn't any pressure. Choppers rising straight out of small, cleared jungle spaces, wobbling down onto city rooftops, cartons of rations and ammunition thrown off, dead and wounded loaded on. Sometimes they were so plentiful and loose that you could touch down at 5 or 6 places in a day, look around, hear the talk, catch the next one out. There were installations as big as cities, with 30,000 citizens. Once we dropped in to feed supply to one man. God knows what kind of Lord Jim Phoenix numbers he was doing in there. All he said to me was, "You didn't see a thing, right, Chief? You weren't even here." There were posh, fat, air-conditioned camps like comfortable, middle-class scenes with the violence tacit, far away. Camps named for commanders' wives, LZ Thelma, LZ Betty Lou. Number-named hilltops in trouble where I didn't want to stay. Trail, paddy, swamp, deep, hairy bush, scrub, swale, village, even city, where the ground couldn't drink up what the action spilled. It made you careful where you walked. Sometimes the chopper you were riding in would top a hill and all the ground in front of you as far as the next hill would be charred and pitted and still smoking, and something between your chest and your stomach would turn over. Frail gray smoke where they'd burned off the rice fields around a free strike zone. Brilliant white smoke from phosphorus, Willie Peter make you a believer. Deep black smoke from palm. They said that if you stood at the base of a column of napalm smoke, it would suck the air right out of your lungs. Once we fanned over a little ville that had just been airstruck, and the words of a song by Wingy Manone that I'd heard when I was a few years old snapped into my head. "Stop the war, these cats is killing themselves." Then we dropped, hovered, settled down into purple LZ smoke. Dozens of children broke from their hooches to run in toward the focus of our landing, the pilot laughing and saying, "Vietnam, man, bomb 'em and feed 'em, bomb 'em and feed 'em." Flying over jungle was almost pure pleasure. Doing it on foot was nearly all pain. I never belonged in there. Maybe it really was what its people had always called it. Beyond. At the very least, it was serious. I gave up things to it I probably never got back. "Oh, jungle's okay. If you know her, you can live in her real good. If you don't, she'll take you down in an hour. Under." Once, in some thick jungle corner with some grunts standing around, a correspondent said, "Gee, you must really see some beautiful sunsets in here." And they almost pissed themselves laughing. But you could fly up and into hot tropic sunsets that would change the way you thought about light forever. You could also fly out of places that were so grim they turned to black and white in your head 5 minutes after you'd gone. That could be the coldest one in the world, standing at the edge of a clearing watching the chopper you'd just come in on, taking off again, leaving you there to think about what it was going to be for you now. If this was a bad place, the wrong place, maybe even the last place, and whether you'd made a terrible mistake this time. There was a camp at Sok Trong where a man at the LZ said, "If you come looking for a story, this is your lucky day. We got condition red here." And before the sound of the chopper had faded out, I knew I had it too. "That's affirmative," the camp commander said. "We are definitely expecting rain. Glad to see you." He was a young captain. He was laughing and taping a bunch of 16 clips together bottom to bottom for faster reloading. Grease. Everyone there was busy at it. Cracking crates, squirreling away grenades, checking mortar pieces, piling rounds, clicking banana clips into automatic weapons that I'd never even seen before. They were wired into their listening posts out around the camp, into each other, into themselves, and when it got dark, it got worse. The moon came up nasty and full, a fat, moist piece of decadent fruit. It was soft and saffron misted when you looked up at it, but its light over the sandbags and into the jungle was harsh and bright. We were all rubbing Army-issue night fighter cosmetic under our eyes to cut the glare and the terrible things it made you see. Around midnight, just for something to do, I crossed to the other perimeter and looked at the road running engineer straight toward Route 4, like a yellow, frozen ribbon out of sight. And I saw it move. The whole road.